The Minecraft movie blew up like a creeper in a cave, and fans noticed. From epic fights to emotional farewells, it was packed with moments that made longtime players cheer, laugh, and maybe even tear up a little. Let's break down every single moment the fans loved, one block at a time. Steve's return to the mines. Before the mobs, the magic cubes, or even Dennis the Wolf, there was this. Steve, stuck in his boring job, suddenly remembering who he used to be, a kid who just wanted to mine. This moment hit fans hard. It wasn't just a plot point, it was pure Minecraft energy. No sword, no armor, just a guy, a dream, and a pickaxe. The way he pushes past the old man guarding the entrance and starts digging like he never stopped, that's not just mining, that's healing. That's every player who ever came back to the game after a long break and remembered why they loved it in the first place. And just like that, we're back in the blocky world and the adventure begins. Next up, the moment that cracked the sky open. Literally, the portal to the overworld opens. Now this was the moment the movie went full Minecraft. After digging through the mine, Steve finds two mysterious cubes, one glowing with ancient power, the other pulsing with mystery. And when he slaps them together, boom! Not a little sparkle, not a soft hum. We're talking full-blown magical chaos. Blocks floating, energy swirling, the air practically vibrating with, "You're about to get isekai'd." For longtime players, this moment felt huge. We've all built portals in-game, whether to the Nether or the End. But seeing it happen like this, with real-world gravity and cinematic flair, hits different. It wasn't just Steve goes to Minecraft world. It was a portal between realities, a glowing gateway to the blocky chaos we've all spent years exploring. And when Steve steps through it, you feel it. Like he's not just crossing dimensions, he's crossing into legend. From here on out, the rules change, and the world of Minecraft officially opens up. Next up, the moment fans howled for, literally. Dennis the Wolf gets tamed. Every great hero needs a loyal sidekick. Frodo had Sam, Shrek had Donkey, and Steve gets Dennis. We first meet this wild wolf when he tries to eat Steve. Fair. But instead of fighting him off or running away, Steve does what every Minecraft player has instinctively done since 2011. He pulls out a bone. One femur later, Dennis is sitting loyally by Steve's side, and the entire theater collectively went, "Let's go." What fans loved most wasn't just the reference, it was how the movie treated Dennis like a real character. He wasn't just a pet. He howled at just the right moments. He helped in battle. He even delivered the cube back to Earth like a four-legged legend. And when Steve trusted him with it, that wasn't just plot. That was bond. In a movie full of explosions and cube-powered magic, Dennis reminded us that sometimes the strongest connection you can make is with a good boy who'll fight skeletons for you. Next up is Henry's first build during the monster attack. This is the moment when Henry starts to feel like more than just a kid caught in the middle of something big. When the group is attacked by mobs, zombies, skeletons, and other creatures, most of the characters panic. But Henry doesn't run. Instead, he starts building. It's a small detail, but one that really stood out to fans. While everyone else is overwhelmed, Henry quietly uses what's around him, blocks, materials, whatever he can find, to create a defense. It's a clear nod to how players think inside the game. You don't need to be the strongest fighter in Minecraft to survive. You just need to be smart, fast, and creative. This moment marks a shift for Henry. It's the beginning of him growing into someone who belongs in this world, not because he was chosen, but because he adapts. He thinks like a builder, and that makes him valuable, not just to the group, but to the story. Next, we move to a scene where that same group gets some much-needed help from someone who knows this world better than anyone. Steve shows up swinging. Up to this point in the film, the group has mostly been stumbling through the overworld, figuring things out, getting overwhelmed, and barely holding it together. Then things start to fall apart. The mobs close in, chaos spreads, and just when it feels like no one is getting out of this alive, Steve shows up, and he's ready. It's the first time we see him fully in action, and the movie doesn't rush it. He's calm, collected, and completely in control. He doesn't just fight, he knows exactly how to handle the mobs, which ones to prioritize, how to use the terrain, and when to strike. It's not over the top or flashy, it's just someone who spent a lot of time surviving in this world, finally doing what they do best. For fans, this wasn't just cool, it was satisfying. After seeing Steve talk about the overworld like a place he helped shape, we finally get to see what that means. His arrival turns the tide, not because he's invincible, but because he's prepared. He's experienced, he knows the rules, and he plays to win. More than anything, it was reassuring. The group isn't alone anymore. They have someone who understands this world, and in that moment, it finally felt like they had a chance. Next is a scene that showed us how far Garrett had come when talk and ego gave way to action. Garrett's heavy metal explosion. Garrett spends much of the movie as comic relief. He's loud, overconfident, and constantly chasing shortcuts to avoid doing any real work. But near the end of the film, when everything's on the line, that changes. After Malgoia steals the orb and the Enderman crystal, the group is shaken. They're exhausted and outmatched, and it seems like the mission has failed. Everyone's ready to fall back except Garrett. He doesn't run. He doesn't make a joke. He stands still, looks ahead, and decides that if they're going to lose, he's not going quietly. It's a surprisingly grounded moment. Garrett throws his arms up and says, "This calls for some heavy metal," then sets off a huge explosion meant to stop Malgoia from escaping and buy the others time. It's dramatic, yes, but it feels earned. After all the noise and bluffing, Garrett finally follows through on something real. For a character who spent so much of the film trying to avoid risk, this was a turning point. It's not just about sacrifice, it's about growth. Garrett becomes more than a joke. He becomes someone who's willing to put himself last for the first time. And that shift didn't go unnoticed. It's one of the moments that helped change how fans saw him and opened the door for the version of Garrett we get in the final act. Next up is an intriguing scene, Henry versus Enderman. By this point in the movie, Henry has come a long way. He's no longer the quiet kid just tagging along. He's building, planning, and taking real risks. But his biggest moment comes during the mansion raid, when he ends up face to face with one of the most dangerous mobs in all of Minecraft, the Enderman. The scene is dark, tense, and almost quiet. Just the hum of the Enderman's presence and Henry, alone in the vault, gripping a diamond sword. For fans of the game, this is peak suspense. Everyone knows you don't look an Enderman in the eyes. But Henry doesn't back down. The fight isn't flashy, but it's intense. Henry has no help, no backup, and no time to think. But he holds his ground, lands his strikes, and somehow comes out on top. For a kid who started the movie fumbling with classroom projects, this was a huge payoff. And it's more than just a cool boss battle. It's proof that Henry belongs in this world. He's not just surviving anymore. He's fighting back, using everything he's learned. When he walks away from that fight holding the teleportation sphere, it feels earned, quiet, confident, and capable. That's the version of Henry fans came to love. Up next, a final showdown that brought everything full circle. The Great Pig versus the Ultimate Golem. By the time the Great Pig is unleashed, the stakes are higher than ever. Malgoia is out of patience, her armies are failing, and she needs a weapon that can crush the heroes once and for all. So she turns to brute force, a massive brain-implanted beast that looks like it was pulled straight out of a nightmare. The Great Pig isn't just big, it's destructive, uncontrollable, and terrifying. But the movie doesn't leave the heroes defenseless. Instead, we get something that feels like the ultimate Minecraft payoff, the team's own creation, a massive golem built from a secret alloy and designed to protect the overworld. When the two giants collide, it's not just a fight, it's a clash of everything this world stands for. One was made from hatred, the other from teamwork and creativity. Fans loved this moment not just because of the scale, but because it captured the spirit of Minecraft. You build to protect, and you create to survive. Watching the golem go toe-to-toe with the Great Pig was like watching two titans built block by block. No cheap tricks, no magical shortcuts, just raw force, powered by the choices the characters made along the way. It was big, chaotic, and everything players imagined the game would look like if it came to life. And more importantly, it worked. Next comes a scene that had no explosions, no special effects, just one choice that meant everything. Steve spares Malgoia. After everything she's done, stealing the orb, threatening both worlds, crushing her own general without hesitation, Malgoia ends up right where most villains do, defeated, cornered, and desperate. She's weak, out of options, and still trying to take one last shot at winning. But Steve doesn't flinch. This could have been the moment for a final blow. The moment when Steve strikes her down, ends the threat, and walks away victorious. But that's not what happens. Instead, he blocks her last attack, calmly disarms her, and walks away. No dramatic speech, no angry outburst, just a quiet decision to be better. Fans connected with this scene because it stayed true to who Steve is. He's not a destroyer, he's a builder. And even though Malgoia caused chaos and pain, he refuses to become like her. It's a simple moment, but one that leaves an impact. In the middle of a movie filled with magic cubes, mob fights, and giant golems, this small act of mercy stood out. It reminded fans that Minecraft isn't just about fighting or surviving. It's about choosing what kind of world you want to create. And for Steve, that world includes second chances, even when they're hard to give. Next up is a heartwarming moment between two beloved characters, Garrett and Henrys friendship moment. After the chaos in the mines, when they lose the diamonds, Henry snaps at Garrett, and instead of lashing out, Garrett opens up. He admits why he's been so desperate. He's broke, scared, and doesn't know what he's doing. And Henry, without missing a beat, simply says, "Yeah, I'm a kid, but you're not alone. I'm your friend." It's a quiet, honest exchange that hit hard for a lot of viewers. No punchlines, no explosions, just connection. And for a movie about building, this moment built something real. That quiet trust between Garrett and Henry isn't the only bond that stands out. As the dust settles, another handoff happens, one that's just as meaningful, but far more silent. Steve handing Dennis's leash to Dawn. After the final battle, when the overworld starts to feel safe again, Steve knows it's time to step back. He's done what he came to do and more. But before he goes, he makes one last choice that says a lot with very little. He kneels beside Dennis, his loyal wolf, and hands the leash to Dawn. No dramatic farewell, just a peaceful moment between two people who've come to understand each other. Fans appreciated this moment because it didn't need to be loud. It wasn't about action, it was about trust. Steve had been the one leading and protecting for most of the movie, but now he's handing that role off. Not because he's giving up, but because he knows someone else is ready to carry it forward. It's a small gesture, but one that carried weight. And like the best parts of Minecraft, it wasn't about winning. It was about knowing when to build something new and pass it on. And as if that moment of trust wasn't enough, Dawn gives something back. Not in words, but in the way she always has, by building. The Mushroom House reveal. After the final explosion, after Garrett's near sacrifice, and after the group is scattered across the battlefield, there's a moment of stillness. The camera pans across broken terrain and ash until it lands on something totally unexpected. A small, cozy, mushroom-shaped house. It's Dawn's doing, a shelter she built during the chaos, just in case. It's not big, it's not flashy, but it's there. And for a group that's been running, fighting, and surviving nonstop, it's a small piece of peace. A reminder that not everything has to be about battle or loss. Sometimes survival means having a place to breathe. Fans love this because it captured a side of Minecraft that's easy to forget in the middle of explosions and boss fights. The quiet joy of building, of making something out of nothing, and of doing it not for glory, but to help the people around you. It also gave Dawn a moment of recognition. She didn't just follow, she prepared, she protected. And in the middle of a world trying to fall apart, she planted something safe. And just when it seems like the story's over, the movie leaves us with one last surprise, something fans had been waiting for: Alex's post-credits reveal. Just when the credits start rolling and you think the adventure's wrapped up, the film gives fans one last moment, and it's a big one. Steve, now back in the real world, walks up to a familiar door. He knocks, and when it opens, we see her. Even though her face stays mostly out of view, there's no mistaking it. It's Alex.
Hi, sorry to bug. I used to live here, and I'm Steve.
Oh, is this about that chest in the attic?
Oh, yeah! I'm so glad that's still around.
Hey, you want to come in? I'm Alex, by the way.
Alex, great to meet you.
For longtime Minecraft fans, this scene hit instantly. Steve and Alex are the faces of the game. For years, players have debated who they liked more, who they played as, and whether the two characters were part of the same story. And while Alex had been absent from the entire film, this post-credits scene made one thing clear: she's coming. The moment is short. Steve asks if she still has a chest he left behind. She says yes and introduces herself. That's it, but that's all it needed. Just enough to spark excitement and confirm what fans were hoping for. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of something bigger. And it works because it feels earned. The movie focused on Steve's arc, his growth, and his world. But now, with the overworld saved and a new path opening, it's time for Alex to step in. It's a promise, one that fans are more than ready to see fulfilled. These were all fans' favorite moments of a Minecraft movie. If you want to see more content like this, click the video on the screen now.